Hey man, Ronnie, how do you raise money, man? How do you raise the private money? I got a great deal that I have. I put a deal under contract, but I need the money, man. Where do I find this? What is this thing I can use other people's money or their IRAs or what is joint venture? How do I work joint ventures? Today, right now, we're gonna talk about the 12 ways in which you can find private money and raise it. But before we do that, what I wanna do is I wanna get into why would a lender even wanna lend money to you and to me? Why do they love it? Why do lenders actually do this? We're gonna get into those. We're gonna get into how to use private money and then why you should consider even looking at private money and spending your time on that here in today's video, okay? So to start, what I wanna start is my name's Ronald Walker. I'm the owner and founder of the West Michigan Real Estate Investors Facebook group, and I've been an investor now for nearly 10 years. I got started in 2013. I got started into wholesaling. I was looking to start my own business. I was a private client banker at JP Chase, and I wanted to get my own business. I wanted to make more money than just the salary I was doing and have the freedom for my life. At that time, my second kid, Jude, was just being born, and I wanted a little bit more freedom. I wanted more out of life, and so I began this journey of real estate investing when I found out about wholesaling. And along the way, I've done probably over 500 deals now over this last 10 years. That's wholesaling, that's fix and flip, that's building sub-2 owner-financed portfolios, that's small amount of rentals. I haven't done a ton of rentals, but a smaller amount of rentals. That's fix and flip, and I've used a lot of people's money. I've gone through this. I've done a ton of wholesale deals. I've worked with other investors, and I've kind of been around the block or time or two when it comes to this and seen some of the pitfalls and the ways to really connect and what people really want. What is the thing that they want? How quickly can you deliver on it? Do they believe you? And how fast can you make it happen? And those are the things that we want to talk about in regards to private money. And really what I want to start, guys, is why do these private lenders, why do they want to work with you? And why do they want to work with me? Because they do, okay? They absolutely do. And here's the thing. Number one on why they want a solid return on a property that is secure, right? On a secure property. Because think about it. They have 250 grand. They might have $1.2 million. They might have $1.7 million. They might have $60,000. What are their alternatives? Not savings. What are their alternatives to make money with the money, right? What can they do? They can put it in the stock market, right? Which their capital is exposed and it can go up and down. They can put it in crypto, and we all know where crypto's right now, right? It's down 80% depending on when you guys are watching it right now. We're in the crypto winter. And so they're looking, a lot of times they want return on their money, but they want secure return on their money. And that's exactly what real estate provides. It provides an opportunity to make a high return with a secure asset, something that secures and collateralized rather than putting their capital at risk, say in a stock market, right? They have a lien on a property. There's an asset that has a value attached to it, and that provides the feeling of security. And guys, lenders love this. That's why there's a whole industry around hard money lending, because lenders love having an asset that their money is tied to. Number two is they have predictable returns, right? They have a consistent return, and they know it from the very beginning. When I go to one of my lenders here, I just got a deal. It was a $62,000 property in Kalamazoo. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It's got a small little driveway. We redid the kitchen. We redid all the redid the bathroom. We did the bedrooms. We re-sided the whole place, and we did landscaping for the property. Okay, it was a very minor remodel, nothing major. For us, we're all in around $17,000, and we're gonna turn it and be done from start to finish and closed on the property in less than 3 months, God willing that we get an offer and they close quickly, right? And we don't get the rigmarole. But we're gonna be We're only a month, we're almost 2 months in. We're, I think, 5 days from 2 months in right now. And when the lender came to me, they want to know, what are the other homes selling nearby, which they were at $135,000 resale, and what is the amount of money you're going to put into it, and what is the estimated time frame? Well, from there, the lender, number two, they get to calculate what their return is on the property. So in this case, say a 10% loan that they are coming against, they get to say, okay, I'm giving you $62,000. You're going to front the rehab yourself on this deal. That's what we did. And I know that I'm getting 10% of my money, interest only, as it's calculated out over, say, like a year period. They're getting 10% on their money while I'm using the money. That is predictable. They know from the very beginning how much money they're going to make. And guys, lenders love this. They love to know, okay, at the end I'm going to make this, because stock market, crypto, you don't know what you're going to make. You don't know what those other options are. You don't know what that looks like, because there's a lot of different things. But with lending, here's the interest rate, this is exactly what I'll make, and this is my estimated time frame. And that just makes them feel good. That's why they love doing this. Number three, guys, this is the easiest money to make in real estate. People talk about, like, let's go be a real estate investor, let's go buy rental properties, let's go do these things. Guys, when you buy a rental property, what do? All of a sudden, you've now got to manage tenants. You've got to make sure that income comes in. You've got to do that. But lenders, when they partner with real estate investors, what they do is they're partnering with someone who's an expert in their craft. They're partnering with someone who has a really good deal that's going to be able to get rid of it. And because of that, they literally write a check for the money. They send it to the title company after the liens, the mortgage, the deed of trust, the note, all of that's taken care of, which is what the title company's for. And they literally write a check. It goes to the title company. They get a monthly payment, if that's what's discussed on. They get a monthly payment, and then they get their money back at the end of it, already done. They don't have to do anything. It is literally the most passive way to make money in real estate, and that's why they love it. They love absolutely just writing the money, knowing this is what my return is going to be, and getting that return and being able to trust someone who's in the industry themselves. And I alluded to this, they don't want the headache. They just want to write the check. They don't want the headache. They want the return without the headache, which is what rentals provide. Rentals have a headache. Rentals have active things you have to do. You have to chase it. You have to manage it. You have to worry about that property. With lending, you don't have to do that. You write the check. You send it to the person you're lending the money to, or not to them, but you send it to the title company. And then from there, it gets applied to the property, and you just get your monthly payments, and you're trusting someone to do that. They do it because they don't have the time. Some lenders, they have high-paying jobs. They're doctors, lawyers. They might be in politics. They don't have the time to focus on it, and they just want to write the money and get a return for the money they're making. 6, real estate is a small business. Everyone wants to invest in real estate, but nobody wants an additional side hustle. Not everybody wants a business. Not everybody wants to flip properties. Not everybody wants to manage 15 rentals, but they do want their money to earn money on top of it. And so they don't have to operate a small business in real estate. And then the last thing is, just having money is not the best reason to get into real estate. Just having money is not the best reason to go out and buy a bunch of properties or buy a multifamily unit or do that, because there's other skills that you have to do. There's other headaches that go on. And so a lot of times, like some of my lenders, they love the idea of real estate because real estate's like a really exciting thing to be a part of, but they don't really want to give up the freedom of their time to go out and buy a whole bunch of properties and put in a lot of that effort. So this allows them to have a piece of it with their money and get the return that real estate provides without having to actually be involved. So the question is, like, how do you use private money? Like, how do we actually use it? And the answer, guys, like, you can use it for buy and holds. You can use it for fix and flips. You can do it short term. You can do it long term. The real answer is you can do it in any way that you and your lender agree on. You can get as creative as you want. You can offer equity in the deal. You can not offer equity. You could do a short period. You could do big chunks of money. You could defer payments. You could have lots of payments. You could give a certain amount up front. You could do a certain amount at the end. Like, you can use money in any way that you're creative enough to use it, okay? Like, it can be used in any way that you and your lender agree upon. Why should you use private money? The number one reason, guys, you should use private private money over your own capital is you don't want to make the mistake that I did 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I decided, you know what, I'm going to get into this. I'm just going to use my own money when I flip a property. I'll buy it with my own money, not going to work on it. And what happens is all of your money is tied up. You might only be able to do 1, maybe 2 deals in an entire year, which could be awesome if you've never done them, right? 1 deal can change your life, but your velocity of your money, the velocity of cash, you get to take money, and through time, instead of doing 2 deals, you might be able to do 6. You might be able to, instead of 6, you might be able to do 12 because you're using someone else's cash, putting it on a property, turning that property, it's going back, you're grabbing the money again, you're putting it on another, while 3 more are happening at the same time. You're able to turn cash. And that's why you hear the term cash on cash return. Like, how much cash did you put in versus how much cash you received at the end? Like, what was that cash on cash return? Did you put all your money in and get a low cash on cash? Or did you put a little bit, used other people's money, and got a high cash on cash return? And that allows you to use money in a way that speeds up how much money you actually keep at the end of the day. Number 2 is you gain credibility as you use other people's money. Like, when you use private money and you're keeping track of the loans you get, you're now able to speak to, hey, I just borrowed, we just did one on Lexington in Kalamazoo as well. I borrowed $82,000. I bought the property on Lexington, and then I borrowed another $30,000 for the rehab. And so I borrow that. They get a secure return. They don't have to worry about it. I'm managing the rehab, and I update them on a regular basis. Well, guess what? When it comes around and gets back, it builds credibility in me. People believe in what I'm doing, which more money comes, more opportunity comes, and just builds the business. And when you start using private money, word gets around. People start talking. People want to be around you. 3, you get to build relationships. And this kind of goes with credibility, is people then start wanting to be around you. It's hard to operate 3 properties without people knowing about it. You're going to be talking about it. You're going to be running over here. You're going to be talking to so-and-so while you're on your way to a property. What happened? Oh, I bought this. This is what it looks like. And so you build relationships. You'll be able to get more opportunity. And then the last one here on why you should do private money, guys, is, let's just face it, confidence is the name of the game. And when you're using other people's money, you're doing deals, and you get a deal done, you feel good about yourself. That you made them money, you made the realtor money who sold it, you made the contractor money who fixed it up, you bought it from the seller who had a problem, or for a wholesaler who might have made some money. You yourself are now flipping it, and you make a chunk of money, and now all of a sudden you feel like, dang, this is pretty awesome. You feel really good about yourself, and that confidence cascades, and it builds, and it allows you to make more money and do better in this industry, and it builds that confidence that, you know what, I'm contributing to the world. Like, that's an amazing, amazing, amazing feeling. So, with that being said, we've talked about how to use private money. We've talked about why lenders love to lend to real estate investors like me and like you. We've talked to why you should do it. So now, let's get into what you guys really want. The 12 ways of finding private money, okay? So the number one way here, you gotta start finding amazing deals. I know this sounds crazy, right? Like, come on, Ronnie, like, what are you talking about? It really does. Why? Because lenders, I just spoke to a new potential lender today. Talked to him on the phone. He said, hey, Ronnie, I'm not familiar with the Michigan market, but, appraisal would go a long way. Why did he say that? Why did he say an appraisal would go a long way? Because he wants to know that his $160,000 that I asked him for is secure. He wants to feel that it's secure. He wants to know that if something goes wrong, like, this is a good property that I have and that I'm in. So when you start finding amazing deals, when you present that deal to a private lender and say, hey, here's the potential return, here's the deal, here's the value of the property, here's the rehab, and here's how I'm gonna get it done in my estimated time frame, all of a sudden they will either start to feel secure or they'll get a little anxious, like, ooh, that's pretty slim. And the more that you understand your deal, the more confidence you can communicate to them. And if it's an amazing deal, boom, they'll give you the money. They'll give you the money right now. If it's deep enough, they'll give you the money. So if you find amazing deals, especially when you're starting relationships, make it a no-brainer. If it's a no-brainer, they're gonna wanna give you the money. And that, guys, that's an amazing, amazing feeling. Number 2 is speak to your primary sphere of influence, the primary people that you're around in your life. Start with family, friends, acquaintances, people who are at your church, people who are around you and know that you're in the business. Now, you might be thinking, Ronnie, come on, man, like I'm new and I want somebody who's professional and do this. And the truth is the people that are around us, when they see us succeed, they want to be a part. They want to be a part of what we're doing. And here's the thing with your sphere of influence. Is their value to you is that they're flexible. When you go to a lender or a bank, they're not flexible. Here are the terms, this is the rate, this is exactly what you do. If they might charge points, they might charge origination points, whatever that may be, they're not very flexible. Family might just send the money directly to your bank account. Now you need to be careful with that. You need to make sure you can handle that. But family is very flexible. They're flexible on the payback terms. They're flexible on the interest. They want to believe in you and see you succeed for your life and the family you're creating. Guys, when you start talking to your sphere of influence, opportunities open up, but you got to have the courage to be able to say, this is what I'm trying to do. Hey, do you have extra cash? I'm looking to allocate capital to some of my properties. Here's what we do. Here's how I've done it in the past. Here's how I'm helping investors. Here's the opportunity that's in front of me, and I think it's a no-brainer. I just need some help. And when you ask for help, people want to come around and help you. And guys, I went to my family and I was like, hey, I've got some other lenders. This is what it looks like. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. I would love X amount of money. And I was fortunate enough that they gave me that money over a period of a couple years that I can use that as operating expenses. They're like, hey, here's some money. And that really that helped springboard my business in a major way, because when you don't have money, you can still do it. You can still wholesale, but you're playing the game on hard mode. If they give you just a little bit of cash to be able to operate, it allows you this almost flexibility. I like to say cash or capital or money is like air. You don't realize you need it until you don't have any. And that's what being around your friends and family do. And a quick tip for them is show them what you're doing, show them why you think it's a good idea, and tell them how you're going to do it. And if you can do those three things, people want to believe in you. Number 3, hang out with real estate investors. As you're hanging out with real estate investors, you can go to meetups here in Michigan. There's the RPOA. It's a rental meetup. There's meetups of investors. Now, I haven't personally gone, but I know they're there if you hang around them. Call the investors and get to know them. Ask them questions. Get on Facebook. Ask questions. Even in our group, ask questions. Hey, what do you guys think about this? I'm thinking about blank. I have this opportunity. What do you guys think? And as you post that and you get around to other real estate investors and you guys start connecting, that real estate investor might be here and might have a private lender who's willing to lend. That private lender or that real estate investor might introduce you to a guy who will eventually be a private lender. But when you start hanging around other people in the game, you start winning. So hang around with other real estate investors. Number 4, document everything you're doing in real estate. And what I mean by that is take a picture every time you go somewhere. If you're driving through a neighborhood, take a picture of some of the houses and post up, hey, looking at deals. Hey, I'm looking at opportunities in Kalamazoo. If you're doing a rehab already, take pictures along the way and post it on social media. If you're meeting with a seller, do a selfie and do a little video. Hey, we're talking about blank, and post it out there on social media, because then all of a sudden people are like, oh, this guy's real. What is the number one fear of private lenders? It's the opposite of security. Is this dude real? Is this transparent? Is this really happening? So if you document what you're doing and you just put it out there on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, you just put it out there to the local community wherever you guys hang out, people will start trusting you. And that trust and that, oh, he's actually doing deals. Oh, he's meeting with people. Oh, he's doing this. And then when you talk to them, they're gonna be like, how can I help? Actually, right now I'm focusing on allocating money over into my real estate projects. Do you know anybody? And then they'll either say, well, I'm interested, or they might introduce you to someone. So, document what you're doing. Number 5, public data. So here's the cool thing. When you get money on a property, all of that data, all mortgages on properties are public data. They are recorded under a note and a mortgage in Michigan and a deed of trust in other states. They are recorded with the county, right? They're recorded on public sources. And so literally you can go to the public sources and you can pull every single person who's been a lender. You can pull the banks, you can pull the private lenders, You can pull companies. Anybody who's a lender, you can pull and see who those loans are, and then you can either mail them to their mailing address, you can skip trace them and call them and connect with them, and you can try to build private lenders that way who are already doing that. Now, you can go to ListSource, you can also go to county records, but here's the thing, there is a regulation out there that you guys should be aware of with the SEC that basically says you have to have a pre-existing relationship with someone before you can ask them for money, okay? So what I like to do is I like to do what's called the 45-day rule. In 45 days, you want to have 3 connection points with them, and you want to have at least spoken to them over the phone once, and or if you meet them in person, even better, before you ask for the money, okay? But after 45 days, the game is on. So during that 45 days, get to know each other, provide value, talk to them, figure out what their goals are. What are they looking for? What do they want in somebody they lend to? And then you'll be able to work with them, and that would go a long way. But remember, SEC has regulations, you can look it up. I like to do the 45-day rule, talk to them 3 times. And guys, don't just go in there needy, like, hey, I need funds. Like, go in there and say, hey, I'm a real estate investor. I've got a group of individuals. I've got blank, and I've got other properties I need capital allocated to. Are you looking for more sources to allocate capital, right? Don't go in there needy, hey, I need funds. Go in there and provide value. This is what they want. They want solid returns. They want predictable returns. They want to make money in an easy way. They want a return without any headaches. They don't want a headache from you, they don't want a headache from me, and they don't want a headache from the property. They don't have the time, so don't spend a lot of time. They don't want to run a whole real estate business, and real estate just might not be for them from owning properties. Now, they might own properties too, but they're lending to get a return, a predictable return. Remember that. 6, get on Bigger Pockets. Create a profile, make it look good, connect with the investor community on Bigger Pockets. It's a great place. When I first got started 10 years ago, I started in Bigger Pockets, specifically on sub-2 owner financing. I was partners with Scott Horn and another guy in Dallas. And we connected with Bigger Pockets. They did speaking events, all kinds of stuff getting connected with Bigger Pockets. There was some really, really cool stuff coming out of Bigger Pockets. Number 7, when you're talking about your deal, give equity. What do you mean, Ronnie? What do you mean give equity? Give a portion of the deal to get your first deal, especially if you're new. Hey man, I need the funds for this. Would you partner on it with me? Can we split it 50-50? If you reach out to me, you're like, hey, I want to do my first deal. Hey, can we partner on this and do the deal together? And you're like, okay, well, what does that look like? It's like, I'm not really looking to be a lender. Well, can we partner on it? Sure. Boom, you bring it. But I might not be your ideal client when you're trying to split deals if you're looking for private money. But a lender might. You might say, hey, if I give you 15% and your lending fee, can we do that? Maybe I'd be like, hey, I'm open to that. Or they'll throw in another thing. Remember, you can use private money in any way you can agree upon. So if you offer parts of the deal, lenders like feeling like they are involved in real estate. So if you're like, hey, I have a really good deal, my skin's on the table, I'm fairly new, I feel like that's fair. Do you feel like that's fair? Is that fair enough? And then they'll tell you yes or no, and you'll be able to go that. But if you offer parts of the deal, you'll start seeing people open up a little bit more. Number 8, team up with someone in the space. This is kind of like partnering, but if you team up on deals, hey, I'm finding the deals, you rehab the deals. Hey, I'm finding the deals, can you bring a private lender? If you team up with other people, you'll be able to find money. Because I once heard that it says, everything that you want in life, a stranger has. Everything you want in life, a stranger has. And so if you partner up with another guy, you don't know who his sphere of influence is. You don't know who his network is. You don't know who's in his inner circle or who's in his support circle or the service providers around him or the friends and family. You don't know who that is. You might be at his house smoking a cigar on the back deck with his uncle talking about this real estate deal, and his uncle is like, hey, I've been thinking about getting into real estate. And you're like, hey, I can help with that. Like, I can get you in. We can allocate capital to this property. And boom, you're in a conversation because you teamed up with someone here in the space. You teamed up with someone and you guys made it happen. Number 9, this is a bigger order, but become a thought leader. Get out there and create a podcast. Guys, I have a podcast, right? Real Estate Power Play is amazing. You should tune in. It comes out every Thursday on Apple, and it comes out every Tuesday live. We go live at noon Eastern time. Like, we have a podcast. We're talking about real estate. We're getting out there. We're getting attention. And the more you become a thought leader, the more people look up to you and see you, the more they want to be involved, because people want to be involved with those who are active. There's too many fake people out there. So as you become a thought leader, as you start connecting with more people, it's a way of attracting other individuals of saying, hey, this is what I've got going on. And then they're going to start vetting you and see if they want to work with you. But that's a way of gaining attention. Number 10, get involved in local politics, guys. We all know politicians, they're involved in a lot of things. Get involved in Chamber of Commerce, get involved in politics. Not only is it good to know what's going on in your community, but remember I said that people don't have time? Guess who doesn't have time? Politicians don't have time. These dudes work like freaking crazy. I don't know, you gotta go ask them how much they work and what their life is like. Like, get to know them. It's insane, guys. So, but if you get to know them, they want to make money. They like the idea of being involved in real estate. And so you can use their money, allocate it to real estate. You have a private lender that nobody else is touching. It's not part of the real estate community. It's from a whole different sector. So go get involved in local politics, help out the world, and raise money. Ask this question. Hey, who do you know that wants to get involved in real estate? Who do you know that wants to allocate capital in real estate? Who do you know that wants to buy properties? Who do you know ... You ask that to everybody, like, who do you know? Who do you know that I should know? Who do you know that has money that wants to buy real estate? Who do you know that blank? If you ask that question, you will be introduced to more people. The other question you can ask, that's kind of a side note to this, is if you were in my shoes looking for capital, like, what would you suggest I do? Especially to someone who's ahead of you, but isn't really willing to lend you money for one reason or another. Hey, what would you recommend that I do in my situation? Maybe I'd be, you know what? I think you should go talk to Jim. I think you should go talk to Kelly at Easy Street. I think you should go talk to Ronnie. You know, he's flipping deals, he's got some things. Go talk to him and try to provide some value for him. Oh, by the way, quick tip, I know this is what he's looking for, so if you can figure out a way to bring him value, like, he'll probably spend more time with you or actually go out to lunch with you or connect. But why don't you try to connect with him and see what you can do? And that way, you're starting to build this muscle of asking for what you want, but who do you know ... And the last one, guys, the last one changed my life, okay? About 3 years ago, I moved to Michigan. I had a team in Dallas, and I moved up here, and my team gradually fizzled away. I let people go, other people got another job. I transitioned into the Michigan marketplace. I created some JV partners in Dallas. I decided to go nationwide at that point, so I did a deal in Pennsylvania. I did a couple deals in Ohio. I did a deal in Georgia. I did some deals in upstate New York. And so kind of did a lot of different things. And, you know, it was really frustrating for me at the time, being like, man, I want to move faster. I want to get more done. And I watched a video and it said, you will get less done in you will overestimate, that's what it was. You can overestimate what you're going to do in 12 months, but you're going to underestimate what you can do in 18 months. And the whole thing here is, guys, this number 12. Be patiently aggressive. Be aggressive in planting seeds and talking to people. And guys, I've been talking to you guys on the DMs like crazy. I've had tons of conversations back and forth, and I love it. You gotta be aggressive, right? You gotta keep planting them, and then just be patient, and then all of a sudden the seed will sprout, and you'll be able to harvest that seed, and you guys will be able to work together, and you'll be able to engage that relationship in a way that strengthens it. And guys, this is a whole nother topic, but one of the number one ways you can strengthen a relationship is make that person money. If you come here, you come to me and you're like, Ronnie, I have an idea, and we make money together, we are gonna have a stronger relationship. If we talk and you listen to this and you go do one of these things and you make money, you have a stronger bond to me and you will trust me more. Making money together with someone is one of the strongest ways to connect, but you gotta be patiently aggressive, guys. You gotta be patiently aggressive. And when it comes to that, everything out the door. Here's the thing. No matter what you do, everything I covered here, if you talk to the lenders about what they want, if you do the 12 things to raise money, if you do all of it, the real key, guys, right? The real keys is build a real estate business. It doesn't have to be a big business. Just make it a model. prove that it works. Prove that you're credible. If you build a real estate model, if you prove you can deliver on what you're promising, you're not an over-under. You're not an over-deliverer but underperformer, right? You're an over-deliverer, and you tell people what you're going to do, and then you go beyond it. You do what you say you're going to do. If you use hard money first, right? If you use an institution first, or you pay more first, you get credibility and more people will come to you. And then if you do deals in a way that attracts people, guys, attitude's half the battle. If you call somebody and they're laughing, when people are laughing and they like you, they do deals with you, right? So do things in a way that attracts people. And guys, bonus tip here, tell people how to connect with you. If you're on Facebook, hey guys, I'm out here, I'm doing this. Reach out to me, DM me privately, tell me what you got going on. I'd love to connect. Until next time, guys, bye-bye.